deep on one side and shallow on the other side. And I bought some 20 years ago and I'm still using them.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't ever wear out.
Yeah.
And when you...
Those glass ones?
No, rubber one.
Rubber.
The little crown bridge resin.
Little resin cups.
With the different school.
And so I use those, and then you know you mix the stuff up, and I've got a sink handy, and I've got a
Add some
large
super
bowl
tea
in the
to
sink.
Jim's
So I mix this stuff up.
appliance.
I put it on the appliance.
After the
and I drop them
post-its,
in there to let them
3
set
post-its,
inside the water.
height
They don't
on each
stick up
side
the wall.
indicate a
You know, get all this
increase in
fuel.
vertical is
Say that
necessary.
again.
Like I'm mixing this stuff, and I'm going to put it on the super tea. Yeah,
Put
mix
it
it
in
up.
hot water?
Huh?
Hot water?
No, I'm going to his mouth with this. I'm going to put this, so what I do is, when you know, you can use hot water if you want to, but I mix this stuff up, then I take the rubber bowl and I set it in the water bowl so it sets in there instead of fuming.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. And for these things, I've got a one of these with a screw cap on it that I keep on here, and I just use it like that. I don't have it separate. The screw cap stuff is, what I have is
Yeah, they're together.
screw cap, so I can screw it and I can use it.
Might be enough for spring. I'm just trying to see how
So now we're gonna,
Camera's on.
so now we're gonna mix this up.
So you're gonna do 3 layers on one side and reline on the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Jiggle
3 layers
them
on
out.
one side, then we're gonna do 3 on the other side.
Right.
It's got the post-its there.
Yeah, right there
What are you doing here?
in that basket.
Right here,
Oh, that's not mine.
this is it right here.
Well, you just use
You just
anybody's?
folded it.
I
You
just folded it. It's brand new. Okay. Okay. Look up this one. Tastes real good, but very nice flavor. I'm putting this over here, just relax, don't bite your teeth. Let me close it. Just stay that way.
A minute and a half, 2 minutes?
Do not, 30 seconds is all it takes.
Suction there in the room so you don't
Yeah,
get
that's all. That's all. We do, the girls will use hold a vacuum over
Right.
here. And have a cup of water right before them to rinse out. Keep
We've
your
done
lips
that.
closed and breathe through your nose. Okay, open. I'm gonna take that out. Okay, and I look at it, and we got our indentations all the way down. So, and this one, it wasn't, see that's got a little tear in it there? See that one right there? A little tear in that one right there?
So you put it back in, have your body again, or have your bite again?
No, I just,
Make another little dab. Put it on.
but I've got these plastic spatulas that nothing sticks to. Nothing sticks to them. When they sit, you just wipe them off. And use the same spatula for 20 years.
Are they on our list?
No, that's one of those rare finds that.
They come with composites or whatever, and you get a pile of them, you know.
Oh, those kinds.
Every once in a while, somebody sends you the kind that nothing sticks to.
Oh, okay.
You get those, you don't ever throw them away.
Yeah, like out of the Panavia kit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And,
And that works for any kind of cement, any kind of cement. would just-
any type of plastics that you mix. So that one spot, it just tore when I pulled off. So I'm just gonna mix a little bit of this stuff and flow it down into that tear.
That number 3 occlusal area is kind of defective.
Yeah, then that's gonna
I
set.
mean, that's my tooth, not the.
Yeah, well, it's stuck in there a little bit. So now then we're gonna trim that off, and we're gonna make sure we leave all of our centering stops in there. And for him, it's not gonna be flat because we've got him indexed.
Right.
So we're gonna leave a little bit of the indexing in there. So we're gonna trim off these edges, leave
Is
a
this
little bit of the indexing.
All the hard ones, or just because he's more because he's
Just
having a
because
while?
a lot of the hard ones, I make them flat. But we had him about where we wanted him, so I indexed it
I
last
got
time. Because he wanted to stay there. And he stayed there pretty good, he was right in these things, but he was just low.
If you make them flat, isn't it harder for them to chew?
Yeah, they can't chew,
Huh?
they can't chew.
But this is a hard appliance, right?
Yeah.
You want them to chew it.
If I index
Eat
it,
with it, he didn't say chew, he said eat with it.
Okay, you can eat without chewing. That's what you're
Not
saying.
well,
well, you chew, but you don't mash stuff up very well.
you didn't say work, you just said eat
It's
with it.
better than going without eating.
Yeah, we want them to eat vegetables and grains and whole foods and all that stuff.
Then they come back and they say, the only thing I can't eat with this thing is lettuce.
Yeah.
Or no, mine said, I can't even eat lettuce with it.
Yeah, I can't
It's
even
great
eat
for
it.
I can't even
constipation.
eat a salad.
That's the chief complaint. Can't eat a salad or anything.
Well, how bad do you want to get well?
I don't care what you do, it's what you wanna do for yourself, I tell them.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what you can do, it's up to you to do.
Paper towel holders instead of
It's your
those more
choice.
expensive
Whatever you wanna do is
simple
okay with me.
Yeah.
I'll fix it as good as I can, and you fix it as good as you can.
Very less
Uh,
It's the best we can do.
Still not cheap, but.
They say, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Cheap old couch and stuff.
I'm involved in my own healthcare now. And, but you gotta kinda know your patient. Some people, you can yell at when they're not attended, and some people, one little negative comment may sink into the floor. So you gotta kinda know your patient, what you can say and can't say, how much you can tell them and whether you can tell them at all, you know?
Right.
You gotta size up your patient.
Never tease people, somebody you don't know. I screw that one up all the time.
I had Sherry working for me, and if I said, Sherry, you didn't give me that instrument when I wanted it, and she'd almost fall off the chair. I got Lorelei was, Lorelei, you didn't give me that instrument, she said, well, pick it up for crying out loud, if I didn't give it to you, what's wrong with you?
My wife would say, you were closer than I was, why didn't you get it yourself?
Yeah. If you want to pick it up, don't hassle me. That's the difference in the personality. You gotta know those kind of people. Because you can keep somebody perpetually depressed or encouraged.
I know.
And every staff member is different.
I
Yeah.
know. I had a patient went up to the front desk and almost crying to the girl. Dr. Leo called me a princess. The princess is gonna feel the pee on the other side of the mattress, you know? She was, traumatized by that label,
Really?
that description. And she accepted it as a label, took it on.
I call myself that. I can feel any little thing.
Yeah.
Mattress, yeah.
And, it went from a description to
Yeah.
being received as a
The
label.
lady. That's how it is.
And some people are so sick, and they come in and you know what to think of them. Nothing is right. Everything's bad. Blah, humbug, Then you get them working, all of a sudden they smile once in a while, pretty soon you can talk to them, they can genial, Their personalities change, And that's the fun part of doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that gal yesterday. She felt so much better when she left.
Yeah, I've had people in and they've gone and they've had all this problem, Dr. So-and-so looked and didn't do anything, and I walked in, I said, well, let's check you out and let's see how you're doing, and I tapped him on the shoulder, and I looked and I said, well, I don't think that's that bad. Oh, I feel so good.
Yeah, a little reassured.
And I'm firmly convinced,
Good costume.
I'm firmly convinced that people feel you before they see you. They feel your energy and they feel you before they see you.
Yeah.
If you're having a good day, they're having a good day. If you're having a bad day, they're having a really bad day.
Just past time.
Yeah. So people come in and I'm always relaxed and joking with them. And they say, how you feeling today? And I say, I feel good. Oh, you always feel great. They say, I might have a headache that's killing me. It doesn't matter. I'm always great. And then they relax and then they're fine. We can do anything to them.
You're feeling great, it'll make them feel,
Oh, yeah.
they'll get some better treatment. I think.
Yeah, everything's fine.
So when I put the GC reline in there, of course it's gonna change things a little bit, so I'll have to
Yeah,
adjust that a little bit.
Well, a little bit. It'll give you a little better stability on this side and back.
It'll raise that up a little bit on
It
the left
shouldn't raise
side.
it much, maybe a tiny bit if you do it right. If you can relax and not get soft in and hold there, it won't be much,
Okay.
very little.
How long a wait is that when you're using
Now 45 seconds,
that's all?
that's all. And you're gonna trim this out just a little bit before you put it in there,
Okay.
give you a little room.
All right.
So now we're gonna do the other side.
Okay.
Then we're gonna go back to the chair and tap you in and
In here somewhere else. He's looking for something, Bill.
that knife, that knife is.
There's a green knife.
Green knife.
I'm looking to the wrong side. I was looking for that big
Look, I only have one green knife. I only have one buffalo knife in the office, sure.
He's got
You know.
I got all-
laser, Sirac, he's got a laser.
Yeah.
One green knife. He's got.
Well, I'm holding down costs.
But all
I mean,
the
what's important?
things- Don't have any of the important things.
I'm holding that. Yeah, I don't have a malginate mixer.
The stuff you left Bill still with, he's kind of short on.
I'm not trying to make it all the way through without having to buy again.
Yeah, but at least Bill's clear on what's tax deductible, right?
You don't write off your buffalo knives? Yeah, y'all can send me some for my birthday.
That's funny.
You can count on it now.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll be waiting by the post office there.
They'll come get us for being terrorists, sending knives through the mail.
Oh yeah, that's
You
gonna get
always
you
do.
on. Now, all the other crazy shit you do, they're gonna get you for
add,
sending it.
powder to the liquid.
Yeah.
For sticking in my coat pocket as I was getting on the airplane.
This is better that way.
Oh, you put your liquid in first?
They wouldn't let me take my orthodontic pliers, you know, that I bought. I had to check them in my...
Check them or they chunk them?
No, they let me put them in my bag and check my bag. I was having such a fit.
Do they always let you do that?
Uh,
They just take your stuff sometimes.
I haven't had that happen. I'm
like it.
always really busy talking to them about that. But there are no tools or instruments. That's what they said.
I got all my stuff that I use. Hang out a big magnet.
Oh, magnetic strip, yeah.
And you're right over the tape. And, I can grab and go real fast.
Yeah, if you do it there, you don't leave a mess all over the lab, though.
Not as good an image as we wanted. We got it last year, but I would like to have a little bit more.
We're gonna add a little more.
I think it should.
Want some water?
Oh, please.
Yeah, if you mix some, leave me a little bit too. I got a little place to fill in here. I just fill in with composite.
Oh, you want some in there?
I think I wouldn't mind.
Oh, you can do it.
Super cheap, that's up fast.
Then you get a rubber board and you can just
Better
use
get
them
down
over
there.
and over.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you got in your office?
Use a rubber board.
That's why I like the composite.
Yeah.
Have enough time to get it where I want
And
it.
the right kind of.
Yeah, you just
Smooth
get the
it.
resin and smooth
Smooth
it
it, 'cause
out,
this is.
dab it around. Or the flowable will be nice.
About the flow straight on there.
Yeah.
Think it's there?
Yeah, I got the big bottle.
Nice. I don't know. If you put the bonding agent on it, would,
Not bad.
yeah.
I got this from
Air
Burke. I
brake
got mine
bonding
from
and-
Burke.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Shine carry.
I tried
I
Pearson, I
love
used
it.
Pearson.
Iron and everything.
Here's the thing, Dave.
We're not using them, we're using Darby now.
I bought something new, that Surefield.
Yeah, I've already talked to
Sure, sure.
Terry Doss. He's-
It's a,
He was
global
talking 18, 19.
posterior composite.
Huh.
Yeah, if you put 18 to 19, you have to have any kind of a partial.
I just kind of kinesiologically tested okay. I haven't
I put 2
done
in
a,
there.
haven't done a big
I
sample
put 2 back,
testing
2
on
back.
it, you know, a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
3.5.
And it's supposed to, the light goes through and cures like 4 millimeters at a time of it, so you can bulk fill, what she said, without shrinkage.
Huh.
And she said it was low on this DNA, but I don't know.
That's what I was gonna ask you if you would have that count.
The guy who's flipping here.
Well, you know, I never trust them. They did a lunch and learn and brought a bunch of stuff, and that was the only one that really tested.
How were they about you testing? She knew where she was going, so it was okay?
I didn't really,
You didn't test in front of her?
no, I
That's fine.
told her,
That's fine, good.
I said I want a sample of each thing left here on the table, and I'll call you later. She said, she kept pushing me for an order. I said, no, I can test these things, and I'll let you know what I'm interested in.
The only one, when you tested it one time on everybody, is it good for everybody? That's not how the test works.
Well, I didn't actually talk to him again.
Remember Mike Savio?
Yeah.
She said, so you tested? He said, so what did you test? What did the tester? I said, we just have it online. I just tested for each patient. He said, oh, I didn't get that. He just thought it was, test this material. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one, it's a bad one.
Yeah.
Nope. And they composite to it.
They say,
Tested it on yourself. Cool, you're doing cool.
tested it myself.
Can you do that?
Oh, yeah, they like it. They have a
That's
block.
why I said,
They have a block.
I don't know
Now, Joseph,
how.
I'm doing just, we're just gonna have a
Well,
dot, just a
accepted
dot
it
for
might
him,
be.
right?
Yeah, do a
So you
code
use-
check
I mean,
on
what's
your
the
image,
image?
do them right away, build your bite up.
Oh, it's a.
And you can change it anytime you want to.
posterior
Yeah, but don't put
global. So
porcelain.
what they say to do.
So Sarah will do
is,
acrylic?
They have an acrylic block.
They do?
It's a composite block.
Like you
What's
got, let's say
what's
you're
it,
applying
what's the name of it?
and they're gonna fill it.
I don't
It's
know.
Bulk
one of
fill
those
it
standard
Well,
blocks,
up
and it comes
to
in very
Bring
shaped.
the
a
light.
little bit of the top,
Yeah, I don't have a shade machine,
cure
but
it.
there used to be one in the office.
and then
It's not a problem.
color
I did several
composite.
studies.
It's absolutely not a problem.
Top
Four to
of
four,
it
fine.
was-
Composite.
It just,
No, I don't.
it's kind of,
It's just one color? Working
yeah,
out?
it's kind
Well,
of
that's the way to do
clear.
it, isn't it? Well, now, of
Then
course,
they build them up now, then anytime you wanna change
Clear.
it.
this 31 is
Cloudy,
fractured
clear
back here in the distal, and then
So
the
it
meso's
doesn't
fractured,
have
so
You're a good man.
it's gotta go out anyway,
like the
so.
composite.
Extracted or?
No, I mean, the
Which
restoration.
Yeah,
might be a factor because a lot of them are
Down and
affected
send
because
the
of
punch down
color.
like this,
Right, and then,
Linear.
30,
So
30's gonna
I'm
have to be
just
replaced,
kinda
nothing wrong with it, but it has to be replaced because it needs
How it's gonna
composite.
really test. I didn't order a
Yeah,
lot of it
porcelain.
because, you know,
You can try to etch it.
And put porcelain, or composite.
Of course, they
on
want
front.
you to use their
You're
Right,
gonna
right.
know, before I would
Oh, but
replace it,
I'm not.
what I would do is go into the coarse diamond and just trim the buckle.
So you tried it on, actually in the cavity?
And trim up the
I
occlusion.
tried
So
it.
you got
I
some
tell you
real
where I
lines
used
in
it.
there,
I've
and
only
bond
used
your
it once.
composite to that. Micro etch, after you trim it, then
Thursday.
micro etch it,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
I
then
used
bond to
it.
that.
I've
you
got
probably
this
still
guy
want it.
Yeah,
who is
and
not
then use
a
like
holistic
ceramic primer
patient
on the porcelain,
at all. He's a
So you can
lab
experiment on him, right?
Yeah.
and then see where it goes, if it doesn't hold
So
up,
I
then just
put it
replace it later.
on him. He's got.
And then the bicuspid, you might just, if it's not too much,
Oh,
we're
but
gonna have to put
I
this
would
all on
call
the
some
actuator
hopeless
and
tea.
see where it ends up.
And he's a lab man.
And then maybe just go with composite
so-
on top of the bicuspids or something. Yeah.
Yeah, just a
He's
little
wanting
overlay,
to try
bond
it.
it on top.
Save
Oh,
his
like you
teeth
said,
and
yeah,
he's
just do
got,
them up yourself.
Yeah, do it yourself.
You know, one of them it was
You don't just try it, you know,
mine just
you
about.
might hear them.
A guy named
So
I just
Ford,
like to-
built it up with that and,
he's the architect.
cause,
Right.
you know,
So does it run all over the place, or is it kind of?
So instead of doing them,
Body to it, so
at
you
the
move it
chair,
around
then do them
and
in the
do
lab,
the
like I said.
Yeah,
It's
play with
better.
it.
You know, the plumbing specs and all that stuff.
I would say it
should
has
do
a
it.
little
Yeah,
bit of
you
a
should
composite
just
to
say
it.
that's part
You
of
know,
his
a
fee.
video,
Just include
telecourse
his
or
fee.
Yeah.
whatever.
How much is it cost?
And what was that bonding material that you used?
I paid and
And
forgot to do it.
someday
I
I'll
think I
probably
used-
just contact you.
That'd be
Maybe I'll
fine.
like your office.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
did it have to kind of see
This
to
guy
kind of
came in the
flow and
office,
suck
and
into it, or
he's
is
just
it
famous
just
for
make it
being able to
move
put a
and-
lot of
Yeah.
treatment rooms in a
I mean,
small
was there an
space.
affinity for the
It's okay,
material?
I
or-
said,
These are all, you want me to buy all the equipment to do that.
Sure.
You mean,
You're the
So
by
I came
the
in my office with
church
that in the other office.
Yeah, how do they
I had
carry
air
it
braids
together?
These soft ones-
card in my leg.
Hello?
Flow real easily into it?
These are,
and-
these are the
and,
ones you polish and
John?
start learning how to start polishing. These are the
Yeah,
soft
Or
ones.
did you have to make it?
Oh,
Was it-
okay.
Okay.
This is the first
well, if
polisher.
you see
fine
how it
polisher.
The
is,
final polish.
Final
The-
polishing.
What did you have before
you
that?
know,
Did you go through the
the
blue ones, the
blue
other
ones.
ones?
Blue one
The
was the
composite
cup,
comes-
the
the
cups
medium.
are
So
stuff
Billy Ray
on.
comes, is it?
And this one here now
and the
just polishes.
compules, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this
So I
one,
go over them first with
it
this
has,
to smooth
instead
them
of
up.
the compule being
When I'm adding, like I'm adding
all
both sides of the
plastic,
super T,
like composite,
I go over them and get them
the
nice and
end
smooth with
is
this
like a
stuff.
little
That
metal
smooths them
tube,
out pretty good.
So Wayne will
kinda like the syringe.
Right.
So you're just squeezing the,
Oh, no, I guess not.
squeezing it out of the
I
compule.
just go
right
over them and I
in
get them
front of the
basically
teeth
polished with this,
With the,
okay?
But
Same
all
does it
done.
tend to want to
It's
flow
pretty
easily
smooth.
into the bonding agent, or is there
Then you
resistance?
take
to
this
make it-
off,
it
and
wouldn't be
you put the
easy.
bristle on.
When
And you
there
do that
was-
dry, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That Robinson
Oh, yeah,
That I saw,
absolutely.
I'll look
Always
closer,
dry.
but I didn't see
Turn
it.
that thing down.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign if, you know, you have to make it,
Right, if I had to get my
Sure,
explorer
get
out
it to
and
move.
pull
Then
it
if you got
around
a-
and all of that, but no, that
Then
didn't
if you
happen.
got a rag wheel, I polish all my temporary crowns with this stuff, you know. You guys use that?
No.
Polish all your temporary crowns with this when you get crowns. Real
You
fast.
know,
That's
it's
the
dry, huh?
bristle
Right.
brush?
Is it dry?
Oh, yeah, dry.
Can I
You
feel
trim
this?
up
Can I
with-
feel this? Just.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
That's a lot cheaper than enhanced cups, those are pricey.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
I've had a box of these for 40 years. I haven't used them up yet. I've been bottom of a box. of them.
I've been out buying all these enhanced cups all this time.
These are called Robinson.
They don't sell them anymore, and they said this guy hoarding them in
yeah, but I
Washington.
think that this is an old style, this is a goat's hair.
Yeah.
The newer ones are not as soft.
Oh, is that right?
You gotta have,
Really?
you gotta be soft. They can't be hard.
Oh,
Yeah,
They don't make this soft one like that
Well,
anymore?
they used to
Well,
make a
ask-
hard and a soft.
Yeah,
I don't know if they make the soft ones. These were the softer ones.
well, the hard ones though were like really hard.
You
Yeah.
can't use them for this.
Yeah, but even this one here looks like it's softer than the soft.
Yeah.
So
You gotta get something that's
you may
pretty
have
soft.
to, ask for.
Well, no,
goat
when I was
hair.
over at Mitch's office, 3 or 4 years ago, we ordered a box of these. We got a box of these. So we got them from somewhere. Just like this. Cause I told him, you gotta get these. Paul Rubin started using them, he said, I don't think you'll polish anything. I think Paul even uses these things in the mouth on composites. He's got big composites, he'll
Oh.
stick this thing in there, cause they shine them, they just shine them. And then if you got a rag wheel on the, on a buffing material on a rag wheel, you put it on the, we don't have one.
I got rag wheels in the drawer right behind you, Felix, right behind your butt. I have some rag wheels in some bags.
Smaller one?
Don't ask me how I knew that was.
And if you do have the polishing stuff that goes on them.
The pumice?
All I
like
have is pumice.
acroluster or what?
Yeah, I can luster, I
No.
got a bar of the luster you put on there.
I don't.
You don't have the,
No, sir.
you got any hard wax around here?
Hard wax.
What qualifies as hard wax?
Real hard wax. I got a chunk of hard blue wax.
Like that Dalar wax?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, you get it at the hardware store, just a chunk of hard blue wax,
Oh.
hard blue wax.
Oh,
And you hit these things, just brush it with the blue wax,
oh,
and you put it on here, and these things just glow. I mean, they just smooth.
really? Wow.
Or you can get the luster.
The lab's like, this, chrome polish that's actually used for chrome cobalt. It's a
Anything
blue
like that blue, huh?
It's a blue tube, a blue cake,
Oh, is it?
round cake.
Yeah, hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can use that, anything real hard like that, and it just shines these things real quick.
Mm.
And so, you can look that kind of stuff up. It looks work real good.
So the blue wax will work as well as some of the rest of this?
Yeah, you can, whatever, it's.
You can get Acriluster too.
Yeah, you get that,
There's something called Acriluster. You
Yeah.
can get from Buffalo.
yeah. Anybody that has finishing stuff for doing dentures, lab stuff for doing dentures, for polishing acrylic, has got that.
Yeah, because it comes out really shiny when it comes out of the lab.
Yeah, that's what they use, that kind of stuff. And so these things will shine just like your dentures shine if you use that stuff. You know how to get that stuff, probably, don't you? You know how to get that stuff, don't you?
Do what, the chrome?
Yeah, the polish?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this guy knows more than any of us here.
Yeah, really.
He just won't tell us what he knows.
He's asking questions. The guy's asking questions. The guy's learning everything. You
I
know?
know the answer already, I want to see if you guys know it.
I'm not gonna tell you anything, you're gonna beat it out of
He
him.
plays unfair.
You gotta beat it out of him somehow.
No, I found out about it actually from the Valplast
Yeah.
lectures, you know, they said, oh, you use the chrome polish.
Chrome polish.
Well, you've been around so long, going everywhere, you know everything, John.
I've never been to a valve blast lecture.
Well, you have to be a
I
tech,
know they
you have to
had
sign
it.
up as a technician.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, you have to know that too.
Well, I found-
Well, actually, I've learned more about dentistry going to lab tech courses than,
Yeah, and I go to the,
they're cheaper
Lab
too. Cheap.
I go
Oh,
to the lab
absolutely.
tech.
Everything's cheaper than
I
dental.
go to the lab tech and walk around his office and ask him how he does things, and he'll tell you how to do all this, stuff.
How's it
Just
feel?
go for a visit, and he'll
Still
tell you
on?
everything, and, Yeah. They make it
Come
really
on,
easy.
Joe. Does it show okay? Does it tip it down or anything?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just added super key to both sides, polish it up, and now we're gonna see how close we came to getting our centric stops. We're gonna touch it up a little bit and then check him again. Just relax.
Okay.
Oh, we're a little high on remember when we added one little piece in there, that was
Yeah,
less high on.
Okay.
on the left side.
Yeah.
I have a picture of myself 10 years ago. Very scary looking. I had white
Kung Fu
hair.
master.
I had really red. I have one SCM that's way more protruder than the other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I had splotches all over my face.
What have you been
Very
doing,
scary,
what have you
huh?
been doing for yourself?
Well, I follow some Chinese medicine methods and try to get my occlusion lined up. And
The only method is raw, organically grown raw food.
I actually have more raw food than I ever did eat. That's true. I became more aware of that.
When I'm home, 60% of my diet, bare minimum, is raw food.
Wow.
Well, raw food has, it depends on the
Chinese don't believe in
constitution.
that, yeah.
No, raw food is good for some people, but inappropriate for some other people.
Not too many, and it has to be grown organically. Organic food has, across the board,
Yeah.
50%
Different-
more.
You're thinking of vegetarian, I'll bet, right?
No,
That Vegetarian's not, it's not good for some of these people.
Yeah, that's true. Long-term macrobiotic diet actually kills some people.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Because
so
and I eat raw
the-
meat, I eat raw meat.
Yeah, the restrictive diet, long-term, you need to be careful. In the end, always it's a balanced diet that
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah,
Now,
the cow
some
eats,
constitutions
grass,
can
the tiger
handle,
eats meat.
yeah, some
Human eats
constitution
both.
can handle raw food, some constitutions
Yeah.
cannot. Yeah. I'm lucky, because I'm connected with a Chinese medicine practitioner who knows how to read this stuff, so.
And when I got rid of my colon cancer, it was quarter cube of butter a day, 7 eggs, 4 raw, 3 boiled. Everything else was vegetables, 60% raw, 40% steamed. And I grew my own meat. I ate beef and I ate it cold in the middle, seared on the
Right,
outside,
cold in
and
the
cold
middle,
in the
right,
middle.
right.
Cold in the middle.
Right. That is the
And,
reality.
my blood pressure was like 190 over 90. Everything in my body hurt. I had colon cancer. I weighed 37 pounds more than I do now. And in 30 days, my blood pressure was down to 115/58.
Hmm.
All my pain, almost all my pain was gone. I lost 37 pounds. All I did was eat real food.
Yeah, there you go.
And in
True.
three
True.
years, the colon cancer was gone.
True. My blood pressure is still the same as when I was in college.
Mine's a little lower than it was when I was in college.
Excuse me.
When I was in college, I didn't know anything, and I ate the wrong kind of
That's
food.
right, that's right. Actually, I did that all the way until I was 50 years old, when I was just, 10 years. And then it wasn't until 4 years ago that I started to shape up a little.
What year did you graduate from Mills?
2 years ago.
Graduate?
I started to back off coffee.
Well, maybe
74.
maybe your eyes are better now
Oh,
than
okay.
they used to.
No.
5
no.
years.
The vitreous tear was the result of excessive stress and this cranial and bite
I
distortion.
mean, the halo over the top showing the cardiac system.
Yeah.
Maybe that was worse 5 years ago.
I had 20 years of, continuous stress.
Yeah. I didn't have any stress, I just gave it to everybody else.
Gave it away.
I didn't own it.
No, I had a short temper. I had a quick fuse.
What are you doing, Rudy?
I'm just getting this thing, getting some centric stops in here.
Getting rid of the proximal, the stuff that's on the interproximal
You're not
teeth.
trying to make it a flat
Getting
surface
cuts
either.
still.
No, I'm giving you indents, right where they used to be. You do good with that. Little bit of freedom, not locked in real tight, little bit of freedom, but some inclines for your muscles to feel happy in. We're getting there. We got 3 on this side now, and we got 2, 3, see we got a light one there, and then we got one there, and one there, and one there, we got one there, one there, and one there. Just a little bit of refinement, we get them all the way down the middle.
Runar, at some point, I'd like you to just cover how you transition from the hard appliance to reconstruction.
Yeah, that was gonna be during the question and answer section.
How I go from the hard appliance to the
Reconstruction.
buildups I put on the teeth,
Well, we were
Both
talking
that,
about,
both that, whether you do the build-up when the patient doesn't go for reconstruction, or they have a muscle or old crown bridge that needs to be done over.
an example, maybe, may I interject for a second?
Sure.
He and I were talking in there about me, what's gonna happen with me. We're talking about a couple of zirconia implants over here, and then the fact that I've got anterior kind of constricted bite. In other words, I
Yeah.
bite, with the use of that appliance, I'm biting in behind my upper front teeth.
he's kind of-
Contacting them first. So we talked about, replacing with composite onlays over here.
Right.
Lab
Right.
constructed, and using what, Cerac?
Sark would be cool for that.
Cerac makes them, you can do a Cerac crown,
Or, make them in
Make
the
them out of
lab.
composite.
Or you can do
one.
composite
Yeah.
cuss tipping.
Yeah, this onlay is, on 31 is bad.
Yeah.
It's fractured, it's gotta come off anyway.
Right.
And then 30 is still good, but he suggests, we'll just air braid that, try to get some composite on there, maybe with a Cerac, but prep it a little bit first to give you some room.
Or you can do second molar build-ups and erupt all this.
How do you
by
find that
cuspids
working?
If
Well,
they're all
that's true.
natural
That's what I
teeth,
do.
if
Excuse
they're
me,
all
second
natural
molar
teeth, you don't wanna
build-ups and
touch
let them
them.
erupt?
Yeah, when I rub people, I put buildups on second molars and cuspids.
Yeah,
And I rub the first molar and the 2 bites.
Orthodontically?
yeah, one line.
For the-
You can do it by appliance too.
So you're saying I think-
First, when I started doing it with appliance, I just made appliance that hit on the molars and the anterior bite, and open and cut the appliance out, and then I put hooks on the upper teeth and the bottom teeth and fold them up.
Right.
And the appliance on the inside kept the teeth from tilting lingually.
Yeah.
It was real good. If I got them in orthodontics and I got them in brackets,
Yeah.
then they're not gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
I build up second molars and the cuspids, I
Yeah.
put a wire in there, a light wire in there, and I bend the wire with a big up bend in it.
Yeah.
And then I put that in there, and that's pushing the teeth up, and I wear them triangular elastics and pull the first molar and the 2 bites up. Once they get up where they touch, and they've been there for about 8 weeks, Then I put a wire in here, I pull all the anterior cuspid to cuspid up to that height.
Yeah.
Cut the buildups off the upper cuspid, so they're not hitting there, build them up to the right height, so now they're even all the way to the second molars. Then I cut the second molar buildups off and let them erupt up.
On their own.
How long, does that take about a year's time?
Everybody's different, it depends on whether they wear the elastics.
Yeah,
It
so
takes,
many compliant
it takes
patients.
12, 14 months.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you
But
have,
you-
for example, a row of perfect, natural teeth and you don't want to
Yeah,
touch them,
for example.
then you can erupt them that way.
Yeah, now those people, I make my own type of bionator. I make a bionator that fits in there, and it's got a big bar that goes clear up into the vestibule and down here with little hooks on it. And then I put hooks on their lower teeth. Okay, and the bionator fits on the second molars and on the anteriors, and I put hooks on the two bis and the molars. And then the 8-inch elastics go up to the hooks on the bar that's on the bionator. And they wear that thing, and they pull those teeth up. They don't have any, they're not crooked or anything, all it needs is the vertical. And then in the daytime, I have a little anterior jig that they wear in the daytime. So when they take the bionator out, they just hit on the anterior jig, cuspid to cuspid. Okay? And the second molars. And they can't bite everything back down at all, And I pull 6 teeth up, and then I pull 2 teeth up, and then I pull the front teeth, and then pull the front teeth up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
And
so
most
that
of-
way you can do without braces.
Yeah, yeah. And they can take that thing out and look normal, they don't have to, they do all the work themselves. So,
Do you have to do a circular slice these days? What's the system?
Circular slice?
You have to keep the
Oh, you keep,
ligament from pulling it, tensioning it back down.
I don't. I haven't had to do that. Might be good. There's pros and cons on that. Within 3 months, that thing all heals and pulls them down anyway. That's what all the studies show.
It doesn't work.
Most guys that used to do it don't do it anymore, because the body heals and has a memory and pulls them down anyway.
But Runar, when I,
Scar tissue.
sorry,
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
sure, what I was interested in knowing is, let's say that they need, full mouth work, to begin with. Let's say like this Janet lady,
Yeah.
who needs full mouth reconstruction, you say, oh, okay, you got a canted eyes, you got TMJ, you take them through all these steps.
Yeah.
Okay, the Runar protocol, and then you finally got to 18 months and the hard splint. How do you transition them into the reconstruction?
And we do one, I'm usually doing the build-ups. I get the upper done the way I want it.
Okay,
And now we're working on the lower with the appliance.
okay, so
Okay,
you,
while we're using the lower appliance, we're getting all the upper finished the way we want it.
so the upper, you finish the upper arch first.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
You get that upper arch where you want it, whatever it takes to get the upper arch where you want it, and you're working with the lower appliance. Now you get the upper arch where you want it. Now you're working with the lower appliance. Okay. Then you have the patient in, and you're either going to put the build-up crowns, or you're going to put lab process crowns, or something on one side, right?
Right.
So you take the appliance and you cut it like you're going to do the right side, and you're going to do 2 bis and 2 molars.
Right,
So I cut the appliance off right in front of the first bi,
yeah,
throw away the right side, or actually I use it to make my temporaries,
right,
and then I do my preps or whatever, or I bond on or whatever it is, and then this is the guide on this side to the height.
right,
And you just got to remember, you never let the patient bite.
okay,
You're gonna close at the bite and warp it every time you let the patient bite.
right,
So
okay,
you have to get a patient relaxed where you can be in control of neuromuscular relaxed bite.
okay,
Okay. And if you tens the teeth to where the muscles are totally fatigued, they're not going to go into the same bite for the
Right.
person as if you got a functioning person. That's just what I found out. Some people can do that, and that's fine. If they get good results, I'm not arguing with it, just for what I
Okay.
do.
right. I think
So
that's a
then
very
then
important
then
difference.
I put everything in on the right side, and I balance it to this, to make sure it hits just like it did, And then, after that's all stable, that's all in and all balanced real good, then have them back in, and I take off the appliance. I build the left side to that, posteriors to that, get it all balanced. And after all that's balanced, we go.
Wait, back up one step. You have the hard appliance still on the left side.
I had the appliance from right cuspid all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to build the left side to the same vertical it was. I'm using the right side as the guide now. Okay.
Oh, you mean the right side's finished?
Right side's already done.
Okay.
Can you say,
I'm using the right side as the guide. And if, you know, and so I cut the appliance, take the appliance out, and I cut my preparations if I'm doing crowns, and I take my bite registration, or if I'm doing my lab process composites, I put those in, and I've got them real close to where they're supposed to be, because I've had this as a guide all the time, even when I have it on the Aculiner. I've got this as a guide, then I put them in, and I get the posterior where it belongs in. Now I've got the 6 anterior teeth. Now I can go back in and build up the anterior teeth, wherever they need to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you finish one side and the other and the interior.
Yeah.
Ah,
If you do both sides at the same time, you've lost all your parameters, you don't know where you are.
right.
so you cut the appliance behind the cuspid
Yeah, right behind the cuspid,
and do everything back?
everything back there. Do that side, then I do the other side, get those all done and balanced, and I come back to do the front.
So if you're building them up, they're pretty low in the front for a while. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
anything temporary for
Yeah,
them?
there's nothing there, you know. No, I don't think.
Wow, that's a pretty interesting way, because they always tell you that you make sure you establish your interior guidance first, then you do the
Well,
lower.
I don't like anterior guidance.
That's
Nobody's
awesome.
got
I
anterior.
know, but
Nobody's got
It's a pretty
anterior
big
guidance,
difference, yeah.
because if they got anterior guidance and they hit them in the front teeth in their relaxed bite, they're always gonna have muscle problems.
Well, even they talk about barely missing in the front.
Yeah, even, well, barely missing, fine, but, so now what does that do if you trying to do both and they're barely missing in front, where's all your parameters? You don't have any.
so when you send to the lab, you're sending the impression of the lower arch
Yeah,
with the
with the appliance
the
in.
appliance in on the left half from the
Yeah.
right cuspid to the left
Yeah,
second molar.
that's
right?
all
You're taking
in,
the
that's all
impression
in
of
the
it.
final impression.
That's all in the final
And I
impression.
pull that
And the
out.
by record is really easy because
Yeah.
it's an open. You can do that by record even if they're not.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
They're not biting, you're doing it for them.
Yeah, you're jiggling for them
Yeah.
because that's the advantage. of
Because
this
I don't want
technique.
them. So now you see how it's there,
Yeah, primarily here.
all across there.
And is that enough stops? Do you want one further back on it? Oh, there's one here.
Yeah, there's one there.
And how's the right side?
Yeah. Real light, which remember, this side, when I'm testing, is gonna be up and you're gonna bite and you're gonna push that down.
Oh,
So I'm gonna let you, because of this free end, I'm gonna let you tap your teeth together. Okay.
feels like I'm touching more on the
Now, you
left
see what
side.
happened when you bit down?
Okay, I came in here.
Yeah, came in there, and you got some nice stops on this side, which you didn't have before. Because remember, when you bite, this is gonna give a little bit, it's not gonna give it when I tap you. But I want that, because if this gives a little bit, then your bite's solid on both sides, and that's, your back's gonna be better.
I see.
So you leave that the way it is. Now you put your arm up here. This one here. Just this one here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And, open. Okay, bite down. I'm leaning into him. Before he just was gone, you know. Give me both hands this way now. Yeah, just like this. Okay. Just
Be
relax, stay
patient,
open.
isn't it?
You see, you don't just stand here like this, you have to kinda get used to stepping back a ways, so you got the room to feel. Bite your teeth together. See, there's no difference now. Slide to the left a little bit. And relax. Yeah, he stays real loose. Slide to the right a little bit.
You want me to slide and then stay out there?
Yeah, slide and stay out there. Just a little bit, yeah. No, he's got an interference on it.
I can feel it as I'm traveling that way.
Yeah, you can feel it. So let's see where that's doing. Slide down and slide to the right. Yeah, You got something going over there. You got the green paper there, don't you?
This is one
Is
side,
that, is that paper?
as it is.
Okay,
The
yeah,
dull side marks.
yeah. Okay, slide down, slide this way, to the right. Yeah, okay, okay. Because a lot of times if they got an interference when they go to the right, it's not on the right side, it's on the left side. It's here, it's not over here, it's right here,
It's on the other side.
yeah. So you think maybe, oh, they got a, an interference on the lateral
The
shift.
balancing side on the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the balance, huh?
On the other side, opposite side. But you would think maybe he's hitting back on his second roller or something over here, is what you would think.
I'm wondering.
'Cause
So I
that-
have some
that cause-
options, it sounds like
that causes-
options is to erect these teeth, the bicuspids
Yeah, if there are
especially.
virgin teeth, I prefer
Let's
to
do it
use.
with Joseph. I mean, Joseph's going to eruption.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make it positive.
With virgin teeth, it's much better to erupt them.
The problem is on adults, they don't like to stay up where you pull them. The bone has memory, unless to pull those teeth back down.
Well, there are nighttime reverse curves things now will do the work for you.
Yeah, get the teeth up.
Yeah.
Then you gotta take everything off sooner or later. And then
Right.
the bone has memory for 7 years and wants to pull those teeth back down.
Really?
I did a few dozen adults, and half of them, the teeth went back down about 20% of the time, 20%.
So do you have to keep them, would it help if you were to keep them in brackets for a longer period of time as a
Keep the
retainer?
brackets for about 6 months or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Now, see, Brendan,
Not
this
6
back never
years.
mentioned that.
But you
No,
still,
not
and then
6
they
years.
They
still,
only mention, they only mention the success and
Yeah,
glory
first year.
cases, yeah.
over here.
What it called it.
Okay, and then relax and slide to the right.
No,
over
he
here.
already knows. He just didn't know you knew.
Okay. Slide to the left.
So do you use alpha appliances?
Slide forward. I use lots of
Lots of appliances or lots of Al?
L's, lots of L, like
Yeah,
kids.
I use a lot of L.
Yeah.
I love them. I think that's
What does that mean?
advanced light wire functional.
Yeah. That should be good for
They
you.
do cranial corrections.
To the left, yeah, there's no roadblocks, no speed bumps. To the right, it feels like there's a speed bump. Again, it feels like it's over here, but you didn't seem to think
This
so.
slide's over here.
Like,
Yeah.
right there, not
yeah.
quite, I'm all the way out there, right?
Yeah.
Right
Okay,
there.
let's see what that shows up like.
Some on the right.
Yeah, maybe you got a tiny little catch here. It didn't show up.
That's the
Maybe
buckle
I didn't
comes-
have,
the
maybe I
lingual
didn't
comes
have
tip.
it. Let's see if that interference over there is what we do.
The customs aren't
I might-
involved, but that's okay though, right? I mean, it's.
And that, yeah, well, eventually you gotta get the custard involved.
The lower cuspid's involved because it's
See, too.
stimulating.
Like that. Yeah, so you're kind of out there, sooner or later you gotta go home and kind of build the whole top of this thing off, up.
On the, in front, in the anterior.
Yeah, and then get your cuspids in there.
Including the sliders, a little bit.
Yeah, just
As
a
long as you
little bit.
miss.
Like that. Slide this way. Open. That was smoother. Yeah. Yeah, there's still this little catch when you're popping.
Where is it, Runar, did you say?
You're popping over this little spot here.
Oh, okay.
That was a little spot that peeled away, I think, and we added to it.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like, yeah, a little bit on
Why
that.
wouldn't it be on that part? Because that's
This part here, he's sliding this
Yeah, on
way.
you're sliding.
He's sliding to the right.
Okay, I got
He
you.
doesn't have an interference sliding to the
Gotcha.
left.
So is it the lingual of the upper tooth there?
It's the buccal incline of the lingual cusp tips.
Not the lingual incline of the lingual cusp? Lingual incline of the lingual cusp?
Is
Buccal
on
incline.
this one here. lies out there.
Yeah, but
Maybe we didn't have you all the way slid out on that thing when I checked you laterally. That should have shown up.
so I should add this and then get the customers involved with the
Yeah.
disclusion,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
make, when I get home.
I usually get those in there at least when I add the, if I put composite on top, I always get up to the custom.
Well, especially composites, because it's
Yeah.
more agreeable as far as
Yeah,
color.
yeah,
I could just add composite at this point without taking all the other stuff off
Oh,
too.
yeah.
yeah.
Most people would find that the Super T to be pretty acceptable at the cuspid region, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's wide enough.
It's white, you
Yeah.
know, and then, but they look a little thingy because you got it on the cusp is built up in the four anteriors are, so I built it up all the way across when I do it.
Right.
You can cut the teeth in there and all that stuff.
Yeah, little creases in there, make them look like teeth and all that, yeah.
Good.
All right, good shape.
Yeah, now we gotta find out, tomorrow how you feel,
Oh,
how your back is when you get up.
yeah. Well, just standing in the room, you know, my back gets sore, you know, but it should be better now.
Right, Joseph should be here in a few minutes.
I'm here,
Aha.
He's here.
just walked in.
Good, perfect time.
Hello?
Hello, we're in this room, it's all time room.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
Then you
There's back
typically
in
have a
there,
vision.
and,
Yeah,
Same
probably
thing,
just
walking
ate
out,
some
same
breakfast.
thing.
Okay.
We'll check you again before we leave.
Okay.
Need a brush?
I do, actually. I came straight over. Hi, good to see you again.
See you.
If people come from out of town, I'll adjust their bike, say 10 or 10:30. I'll have them walk around, adjust it again, and I tell them go out and have lunch and eat.
Oh.
And then right after lunch, come back and I'll check it again
Mhm.
before they leave town. Because they come from Olympia or Tacoma or Puyallup. They don't like to drive that drive any more often than they have.
Do you find, that when you're adjusting the bite, if you, then stop and floss the teeth, then they shift around and then you adjust some more?
When
And
you floss? you floss
yeah,
it?
yeah, I've found that when I do that,
Hmm.
it keeps me from, them leaving. Cause it seems like I'll get it where it seems just right. Then I'll have them, sit up and check it sitting up. And then if I floss the teeth, I'll get that last little bit.
Hmm. Well, I've never done that. That sounds good. It sounds reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah. That,
Feels better walking around.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Feel better walking around now?
Yeah,
Can usually feel it.
Do you mind doing me the paper thing, so that I can just go home with that thing and mount it?
Oh, you want new paper?
Yeah, I'll just do paper. I would rather have it certified by.
Certified.
Rather than have my staff try to
Official.
figure out,
Have
try to figure it out.
whatever that means.
Yeah.
Officially completed.
Certified by Runar is a,
Well, you know, I'm reflex test and all.
so it was 16 on one side and 6
Sick
on
on
the
the
other.
other, yeah.
Something that's
Bothering me.
we're not, I hear your vacuum running, but we're not being confused. What, do you ever turn it off when you're not using
It runs all the time. It runs all the time.
it? It does, oh, when the lights are on?
I had an interesting hair loss pattern, there were only this parietal.
I mean, there's nobody
Part.
really treating that.
That probably has to do with the sphenoid tilt, huh?
yeah, might be.
We were to level this off, there's probably more circulation back.
If the cranial bones are jammed, there's a dura pulling up there, then you're gonna have ischemia in that area.
Alright.
And that's gonna be because you got this roll and yaw,
Yeah.
and somewhere from C1 down to L5, C1 and 2, L4 and 5 in there, you've got dura pull in there. And that's affecting this side over here. You're right-handed,
I'm right-handed.
you work from the right side of the chair,
Yes.
you turn to the left all day.
All the time. 30 years,
Yeah,
same direction.
yeah. Tough on you. That's my problem, I'm left-handed.
You still work from the right side of the chair?
No.
You work from the wrong side?
Yeah,
Really?
of course.
What a pain in the
You
butt.
drive on the wrong side of the road too?
Only when I'm drunk. That hasn't happened for about 30 years.
The things we give up on.
Oh, yeah. I'm only alive because of it.
I better put this off my
I
phone.
accepted the Lord as my Savior when I was 30, and He changed my life. I'm alive still, otherwise I'd be dead for sure.
Well, if it took him 20 years to change, you mean he's a tough case.
He's still changing, well, I hope anyway. But, you have to ask my wife about that. But she stuck with me. We just had our 50th anniversary last week.
Isn't that great last weekend?
Give me a
Congratulations.
hand. So,
Y'all got married when you were babies.
yeah, all 7 years of school. I'd come back to school after a party, and they'd say, well, is Levina still at home? And I said, of course. And they said, what, is she nuts? Yeah, that's good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there you go.
How many papers?
16 and 6, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
16?
On this left side, huh?
I was off by quite a bit.
Way off, yeah. I guessed, and I got real close the first time, I just had to have a little bit to it, there it is, so.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you.
And, it came out real close. And that night, after you wear it for a while, it might not be right on, but it's gonna be real close.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
And the reason I like this is I don't have to have the patient in every other day for 2 weeks, adding and subtracting. I can put this in, and it's real close, they come back in a week, and then I'm checking, it's real close, I just add or subtract a little bit.
No, but what's he gonna do with that paper?
Go home and put his models on the Aculine.
What does that do with your patients, though? The reason you like, what were you talking about? I missed it.
Well, I can see him here, and I can send him home with that, and he can put that on the Aculine and put it in, and it's gonna be very little adjusting to it. Until we had the information we have here, he'd go home and he'd adjust that, and he'd add to it, and he'd adjust it, and he'd subtract, and he'd adjust it, and he was forever trying to get that thing balanced.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I would
It's-
I'll measure with a caliper here,
Yeah.
and I'll measure with a caliper
Yeah.
here, and see how much of the thing I need to melt on, right?
Yeah.
How much cheese I gotta melt on
Yeah.
this appliance, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay, you
So
patients,
then he
change
goes
your
to,
lives.
then he goes to the chiropractor and gets an
We
adjustment.
got some-
Yeah.
we got another one.
Yeah, we're set here.
No, then the chiropractor
Gloves
said,
are right
well, you
here.
don't need any adjustments, if he's any good, this will be a real thing.
Where do you buy those gloves, Bill?
Patterson. I get most of my stuff from Sheen, but, I mean, not from Sheen, from,
Chain,
Burkhardt.
from Chain.
Burkhardt?
But, they don't have these gloves. I don't like them.
You know,